Hey guys, Thomas Edwards, creator and author of the upcoming book, The One Up Effect, here to talk to you about the age-old question, can money buy you happiness? So here's the conversation again. Can money buy you happiness? I've talked to many friends, coaches, celebrities, important figures about this, and everyone has like their different take. And so I figured, why not put my take in the view? Get in the mix and share what I think. Well, can money buy you happiness? I believe it can. It just depends on how you use it. Now, there's different ways to approach this. I think about happiness in two different ways: happiness by fulfillment and happiness through pleasure. And pleasure typically comes from external things like toys, cars, house, social status, all those things, right? And if you use money to buy those things, yes, you will have moments of happiness. But what ends up happening is those moments become short-lived, and the more you buy those things, the more you are desensitized to it. One of the things that your mind is really good at is getting comfortable to a new experience. Meaning, if you were to go after a bigger salary, let's say it's 20%, and you're able to achieve that salary, your mind's automatically thinking about the next 20%. And ultimately it gets to a place where you're constantly going after 20%. Meanwhile, your baseline of kind of the inflection of change in your salary starts to peak out, meaning, there was a study out there that said that, $75,000, depending on where you live, is kind of the point where anything more than that doesn't have this big impact on your overall well-being or happiness. So what does this mean? Well, if you're going after to buy things or to pursue certain pleasures, you can still do that. Just understand that the longevity of that happiness is very, very short. And in fact, it's so short that your mind is immediately going to want something like that again, and probably bigger or better, only to try to replicate the same feeling that you had before, which is why we have this tendency to always look for more when it comes to these type of things. So what would be an interesting alternative? Well, before I get into that, what I want to share with you is an opportunity to think about and join me in a process that I think is really cool about, well, where does happiness and success come from? How can I still create the levels of success and achievement that I want without having to sacrifice happiness, or the other way around? See, I believe that we can coexist in a world where happiness and success can be together. And so I created this amazing experience called The Quest. It's a group-led experience facilitated by me, where I show you step by step, how do you create a life that is more fun and successful than you ever thought? And it's using a game-like experience that allows you to have fun becoming your most complete self. And so if you're interested in that, please go to thomasedwardsjr.com/apply, fill out the questionnaire, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. So back to this conversation, what would be an interesting alternative if money through buying things becomes this short-lived kind of prophecy? Well, what if you use that money to buy yourself time? So let me ask you, consider the amount of time that you do things, work, let's say, because that's kind of the thing that we think about the most. What if you were to receive 25% more free time? For some people, that might mean 10 hours a week or even 20 hours a week. What would you do at that time? Now, oftentimes we don't really think about that. Sometimes we get more money or we create more opportunities, and then we use that time that we could have freed up to do more work or take on more responsibilities, when in fact we could have used that time to actually have more peace of mind, have more fun, take on a new hobby. And so, but what I've noticed is people who have more time and use their money to buy more time, whether it's outsourcing things or just putting their money in a different way that allows them to have more flexibility in their time, they tend to be happier longer, and it becomes much more sustainable for them. And so when I look at these two different ways of how we use money, whether it's to buy things or to invest in ourselves or invest in other people to create more time for ourselves, I realized that true affluence comes not necessarily from how much money someone has, but ultimately how they use that money to create more time. Being time affluent actually creates the most happiness, but also the most sustainable happiness. And hopefully you're able to leverage having more time to create more memories as opposed to buying more things, which would also help you live a happier, more meaningful, and fulfilling life. So I hope this video was really fun for you, and I hope you got to learn some things. Please comment if you have any questions about it, or maybe you're thinking about, well, what other ways can I use money to create happiness in my life? I would love to hear what you think. Please please subscribe so you can get notified when we put out a video every single day. And always, please share this with someone who might need to hear this. I think it'll be a really interesting conversation that we all get to have. And so, with that being said, if you want to learn more about this, happiness, the quest, or about me, please go to thomasedwardsjr.com, or you can pre-order a copy of my book, The One-Up Effect, at theoneupeffect.com. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.